iGlobal Awards 2020. The iGlobal Awards celebrate ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things for the British Indian community and beyond, often extending acts of kindness in the most challenging situations. They come from across the country, from diverse backgrounds, but through their actions, they shine a light on human goodness, innovation, creativity, and sacrifice well beyond the call of duty. We honour the unsung champions that make our community and country proud. This next award is the iGlobal Awards for Social Impact Champion of the Year, presented to you by NishkamSWAT Solicitors. Times like these have exposed more than ever the need for social impact champions, often in the grassroots and acting as the front line of support for society's most vulnerable in our communities. We salute and celebrate the organisations that have shone light where there's been darkness. Let's take a look at who the finalists are. Sewa Day. Sewa Day have been working tirelessly to source, cook and deliver food to vulnerable and key workers across the country. They served 56 hospitals and replenished 60 food banks regularly. This equates to 265 tonnes of non-perishable food, which is over 550,000 meals for families in the first 75 days of lockdown. Go Dharmic. Go Dharmic have delivered over 2.5 million meals to some of the most vulnerable members of our global family, with over 3,000 volunteers operating in India, UK, Nigeria, Morocco, Lebanon and many more locations. Over the pandemic, they've delivered PPE meals and assistance to elderly, homeless and disadvantaged school families. Indian National Students Association UK, INSA, have done a tremendous amount of work to help hundreds of Indian students who were stranded in the UK during lockdown. Between March and May this year, INSA answered 2,900 plus calls, 2,800 plus emails, reached 1 million students and provided 4,000 plus food parcels. 330 plus accommodation requests were handled and 80 plus people supported during medical emergencies. NishkamSWAT. NishkamSWAT, a 100% voluntary humanitarian aid organisation, have done incredible work in serving the homeless this past year in London as part of their homeless project. They serve over 5,000 meals to those in need across 24 locations in the UK, 32 times a week, and they're still growing. And the winner is Sewa Day. Pragnesh Modwadia at NishkamSWAT had a chat with Sewa Day's Raj Sadev about the award.
Hello everyone and happy Diwali. I'm Pragnesh Modwadia of NishkamSWAT Solicitors and I'm very pleased today to be able to present the iGlobal Award for Social Impact to Raj Sadev of Sewa Day. Much deserved award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Raj, if you're okay and you have a couple of minutes, I'd love to ask you a few questions.
Yes, please.
What does it mean to Sewa Day and to yourself about for winning this award?
Yeah, thank you, Pragnesh, and I thank you for this opportunity. Before I get into the question, I would first of all like to say on behalf of all the Sewa Day volunteers, a massive thank you for this award and this opportunity, because I think some of you already know how our 2,000 plus volunteers have been working every single day since this pandemic has struck and been putting a great amount of effort. Despite all the challenges we've all faced through this pandemic, they've been working really hard to make a difference to the local communities, and this award means a lot. So on behalf of them, first of all, thank you so much. So coming back to your question, yeah, it's great to get some almost a recognition, but I think Sewa Day principles being that we give or we try to do the best without any expectation of anything in return. So that is the whole essence of Sewa Day, you know, we obviously started as a series of international days where you would go and do volunteering. But since the pandemic struck, last 200 plus days, every day has been literally a Sewa day. And our volunteers, 2,000 plus volunteers, as I said, across 40 regions, they've been working every single day trying to make a difference to the local communities.
I mean, it's excellent, and the work you're doing, the fact that you can mobilize 2,000 people to work across all of those regions is phenomenal. So really, really well done for that. I mean, you've obviously mentioned it, so I'll sort of ask you to expand. How has the pandemic affected your work, and obviously the workload as well that you've had to now deal with because of all of this? And you know, Sewa is never more required than when everyone's struggling. So how has that affected you?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll come to the lockdown 2.0, as a lot of people are referring to as. But I think since the pandemic struck, or when we had the first lockdown, there was a lot of fear, Pragnesh, and you know, like most of the other volunteers, we all have families. You know, some of us have quite young children, and there was a fear, genuine fear, that if we go out and deliver stuff to the nurses and hospitals and cook meals for them, and you know, do all that kind of the hands-on seva, we could potentially bring back the virus and give it to our families. So there was a lot of fear, but trust me, our volunteers were really motivated and were committed to make a difference, and that's how we started. And you know, there were a lot of campaigns like help your neighbor, so people were going out asking their elderly neighbors if they could help, and it just moved on from that. You know, we did a spread some joy campaign, replenishing the food banks. So even though lockdown 2.0 sounds like, you know, here we go again, our work hasn't stopped, Pragnesh. For the last 200 plus days, it's been constant. So I think I'm quite confident that our volunteers will continue to do the great work they are doing. And unfortunately, the demand, especially for the food, is, if anything, has gone up. So it dipped down slightly, maybe June, July, but now for the last couple of months, we start to see again, you know, people losing their jobs, or the furlough scheme has been, taken back, and lots of other social factors are now causing people some, you know, genuine need of help and food, and literally we see that hasn't gone down, and we will continue to support those. So absolutely.
I mean, that's excellent. I mean, you mentioned that your volunteers, obviously, they feared for themselves and their families, and notwithstanding that, they went ahead. And I mean, that's true bravery, because you know, being brave doesn't mean that you're not scared. It's taking action even though you're scared. So you know, words don't do the good work that you've done justice. But again, really well done. And obviously, you've mentioned lockdown 2.0, or whatever version I think we want to call this. I mean, I'm at a loss for words with that as well. But you obviously have a lot more charitable work lined up. How do you think the workload will be this time round?
I think, yeah, sure.
No,
Sorry to
and
interrupt.
obviously your pipeline for the work that you've got going on.
Yeah, so absolutely, Pragnesh. So, for example, within the last couple of weeks during the Navratri food campaign, we delivered 26,000 meals just for our Navratri campaign. So you can see the sheer amount of work our volunteers are doing across the country. So I think we are well placed for the lockdown 2.0, and we would continue to support the needy. We would continue to support some of the care homes, because the residents there and the actual workers, they have been almost forgotten during this pandemic. So we will continue the work through the Spread Some Joy campaign. Our children have written 1,000 plus posters, letters to them. So we'll continue that work to keep the mental well-being of the residents, keep them occupied. And like we've done in the past, we will not shy away from taking our social responsibility.
I mean, that's fantastic, Raj. Really well done again. And can I say again, congratulations on winning what is a very well deserved award. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'd like to just say to everyone watching, happy Diwali and best wishes for the new year.